Question is, how best could the development team respond to this request? So we are sitting as developers right now. Let's go figure out what the issue is. The development team is using story points for relative estimating. Okay, that's reasonable. During sprint planning, great. To understand the complexity, right? The product owner asks the team to convert the story points into hours to understand the exact number of hours of work that are being brought into each sprint. How best could the development team respond to this request? All right, so let's talk it out. Now, what are story points used for? Story points are precisely used for staying away from what this product owner wants. A lot of times, product owner, especially if they're coming from the traditional perspective, always want, how many hours is it? How do we cram as many hours of work into the 40 hours of the week to maximize our utility or utilization of our people? Now, that is a reasonable assertion in areas where we can understand how long things take, but in Agile, we don't know. All right, we don't know exactly how long things are going to take, and it's a fruitless exercise to chase those hours down. So the reason why we use story points is because we need the team to collaborate, to work through the challenging environment of this build. And the goal is to have them discuss the work and understand it with a shared perspective so that they're better prepared to finish it, right? Okay. And then by converting it to hours, we're kind of stealing from that. We're missing the point. So if I was the development team, well, first of all, I would try to explain to the product owner, say, hey man, I understand what you want. And like at the ultimate time, I think what you want out of this as a product owner is assurance that we're going to get the work done and that you can bet on it. When we come to the review, we're going to have the work done, right? And if we can get confirmation with the product owner on, yeah, that's what I want. It's like, hey, by having story points, the goal is the discussion so that we can understand how complex, bring the right amount in so that we can do it. And you got to know, Mr. or Mrs. Product Owner, we're going to call you or the Scrum Master if we have problems, because nothing makes us more scared than not delivering for you. Hopefully you can get that point across. You might have to bring the Scrum Master in, but that's what we're going to try to get across. All right, so let's look at the answers and dissect them. Oops, I jumped over a step. Dissect them. All right, so here we go. A, refuse the request. Bad all the way around. We need to talk it out. By converting story points to hours, it goes against the principles of relative estimating. Yes, it does, but just flat refusing without education and collaboration is bad. A's gone. B, provide the product owner with a rough conversion of story points to hours for informational purposes only. This is a weak answer. This is leading yourself down the wrong path. It's not educating. It's not engaging. It's not helping you. It's not helping the product owner. It's not helping the project. B-A-D, bad. Just don't do it. It's not hours, okay? C, explain to the product owner, I like the explain verb, that story points are a relative measure to understand work complexity and not directly convertible to hours. Now, I think you might have to go a little deeper in why that's valuable, why they should like that, why they should care, stuff like that, and how it integrates into the sprint planning process. You might have the Scrum Master to help through the process and getting it there, because it seems like this product owner does not have a good understanding of how work is estimated and planned in the Agile sense, right? But C is the closest. That's a pretty darn good one. So put a little smiley face next to that one. D, success using time-based estimates instead of story points to satisfy the product owner's request. No. Like if we don't know, if we knew the hours, cool, but I doubt that we do. So let's continue to understand complexity and let's work through there. And at the end of the day, let's get work done and let's celebrate that predictable velocity as we move through. That's what the product owner really wants, okay? So we've got to talk them into, in a positive way, giving them what they want and understanding that story points are a way to get there, or just understanding the complexity is even the best way to get there. So we're going to stick with C and get it right. That's what it is. So if you walk out of here, you want to understand collaboration is always better than doing it separate. We're not just going to say no or yes, right? Collaborate between the parties, get a shared understanding, and then we understand that story points are to understand complexity. They are not ours. If we get those points, yeehaw, we're on our path.